Yo, what is up guys? This is Pedro here, and in today's video we have a bunch of different news. So first, I'll talk about the Washington football team placing the franchise tag on Brandon Scherff and what that means for his future in Washington. And we'll also go through the players that did get franchise tag and the ones that did not, and go through who's going to be available for the Washington football team and if it's going to be realistic to get those players. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get right into the video. Okay, so first let's quickly talk about the Washington football team applying the franchise tag on Brandon Scherff, and then we'll get into the other franchise tag news and what players are going to be available for the Washington football team in free agency. So with this second tag, it's going to be over $18 million this season for Brandon Scherff, all guaranteed. So the downside to that is that obviously you don't lock him down, for the long term, and also it's all 100% guaranteed. So the cap hit is going to be $18 million. If you do another deal, like let's say he signs a 4-year and then $15 million a year, they can switch things up, with signing bonuses and, maybe backloading the contract to make the cap hit like $10 million in the first year if they really wanted to. You guys saw what the Cowboys did with Dak. The first year is only $22 million cap hit, even though he's making over $40 million a year. So that's a big downside. And also, we're paying a guard a little over $18 million for this year. And the highest paid guard in the NFL now, besides Brandon Scherff, is Brandon Brooks, who's making about $14.8 million per year. So that's a huge difference. And we're not even locking him down, long term. And he does have some leverage now with, especially now that Joe Thuney hits the market. If he gets a big payday, then, Washington's going to have to match that offer because they're very similar players. Even though Scherff made a All-Pro this year, Thuney hasn't missed many games and also was an All-Pro for, a couple years before that. So it's going to be really interesting to, see how this shakes out. They do want him back. It's just, both parties have to agree to the deal, and that just isn't happening right now. And if at the end of the day, Scherff has said he wants to be here, but if he's not willing to stay here for 16 mil or whatever the number is, I think it would be okay to let him go because you do not want to be paying Brandon Scherff 17 or whatever he's asking for per year. I think in that $15 to $16 million range is pretty good. But if not, we have Wes Schweitzer, who played really well this year, and we have Sadiq Charles, who can step in and has some, really good potential. He just has to stay healthy. Obviously, I want Brandon Scherff back, but we got to agree to a deal soon. And, if he leaves after next year, at least we have him locked down for this year, though. And if he leaves after next year, we'll probably get a comp pick. So now let's get into the more interesting stuff. So 9 total players have been tagged right now. The safety from the Rams, John Johnson, he just got tagged as well. Josh Johnson, sorry. And so Justin Simmons got tagged. Marcus May, who I really wanted, got tagged. Obviously, Brandon Scherff got tagged. One best free agent receivers, Chris Godwin got tagged. Cam Robinson got tagged. Leonard Williams from the Giants got tagged. And, a lot of people's favorite target, Allen Robinson from the Bears, did get tagged. And Taylor Moton from the Panthers also got tagged. So obviously all those players right there are not going to be available unless some team wants to do a sign or a tag and trade. Not very common, but it definitely could happen. Notable players at the Washington football team could end up, having some interest in that did not get tagged. Tight end Hunter Henry from the Los Angeles Chargers. We've been linked to him for a while now. Also, now the best, free agent wide receiver, Kenny Golladay, because Allen Robinson and Chris Godwin are both, being franchise tagged. And then Jonnu Smith is going to be, hitting free agency as well. So some really good targets for the Washington football team. And Ben Stanek right here from The Athletic, he said, I'll just read the tweet right here. Removing tag/signed players. Here are the top free agents at the Washington football team need areas. And the rankings: Trent Williams, Kenny Golladay, Juju Smith-Schuster, Levante David, Corey Davis, Matt Milano, William Jackson. Also throw in Curtis Samuel and a couple others. So, if Brandon Scherff, Washington football team, can't agree to a deal, it's still going to be tough now after you're guaranteeing him $18 million per year this year. It's going to be hard to sign a big name tackle like Trent Williams or even Alejandro Villanueva because you're going to have so much cap tied to Brandon Scherff guaranteed this year. So I don't see them going after a big name tackle. Maybe they'll go that route in the draft, maybe in the first or second round. But, some really big name wide receivers are still available. I know Chris Godwin got franchise tagged and Allen Robinson, but Curtis Samuel is still out there. Corey Davis, Nelson Aguilar, and a bunch of other wide receivers, Marvin Jones. There's a lot of other receivers that are still out there that the Washington football team are going to be able to target, and Ronald Darby and the Washington football team have been working on a deal and they're trying to get that done, but there's also been some real interest from other teams since the cornerback market isn't, very good this year. He's getting some interest, and if we can't get a deal done with him, I would definitely, try targeting someone like William Jackson from the Bengals. He was matching up against a lot of number one wide receivers this past season and played pretty well. Levante David is available. Jayon Brown. All these players did not get franchise tagged. Really the only ones that Washington really wanted to target. Also Marcus Williams, I do believe, got franchise tagged. But Marcus May, Washington probably could have, used. Chris Godwin maybe. But I really think Washington wasn't really gonna want to pay big money to Chris Godwin. I think if they were gonna pay big money to wide receiver, I think it would have been Allen Robinson, but he's gonna be on the franchise tag. So Curtis Samuel, definitely an option. Nelson Aguilar, like I said, those two guys in my video yesterday. And we'll see about Corey Davis, maybe Juju Smith-Schuster. They need a number 2 receiver alongside Terry McLaurin because, we need someone that can separate. So Curtis Samuel's more of a slot guy, but still would help. He gets a lot of separation, so I would not mind that. And you guys are going to want to stay tuned the next couple days. There's going to be a lot of news. There's going to probably be updates on free agents that we are working towards, deals, maybe Kyle Allen, Cam Sims, because there's a couple of them are exclusive rights free agents, so we can get that deal done with them pretty quickly. And then Ronald Darby, we want to get that deal done before free agency. And real quick on Hunter Henry and Kenny Golladay, I forgot to show the stats, but Hunter Henry had a pretty solid year this past year, 613 yards, 4 touchdowns. And yes, he is a better tight end than Logan Thomas, even though the stats didn't show that, but I don't know if he's worth the money that he's going to get over Logan Thomas. I don't think the gap between them is that big. There is definitely a little bit of a gap. I think Hunter Henry's the better player, and especially in a good system, he could be even better than he is right now, and he's also a much better blocker than Logan Thomas, but still I think that having Logan Thomas here would be solid. I would be interested, though, in someone like Jonnu Smith or Gerald Everett. And then Kenny Golladay would be a solid option, though he did decline an offer that was about $18 million a year from the Lions last offseason. So you're going to probably have to pay like 19 or more per year. And he has some injury issues. In his rookie year, missed 4 games. He missed 5 games, and then this past season missed about 11 games, so he does have a little bit of an injury history, but he is one of the better receivers in the NFL. 2 back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons in 2018 and 2019. So let me know, all of these guys, which ones do you want to go after that did not get tagged, and which guy that did get tagged were you looking forward to targeting in free agency? So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and peace.